advisors will be able to do everything that they're already doing. And the president of the two school clubs, or more school clubs in the future maybe, will report to those advisors. I'll also share the link. So this is basically a very, very simple diagram of how it's going to work. There we have the central organization, which is kind of an umbrella over the two branches. First level of membership is member. Currently, most of us are at this level. For the first initial election, we are free to run for any position. So there are going to be elections for higher positions. And if you want to run, you can run for this election only. Once these initial positions are finalized, you are only restricted to applying for level 2 or project lead positions. Exemplary candidates at level 1 after the initial elections may be qualified to run for the club board, which is level 3, and this is not going to be a regular occurrence. This includes middle schoolers and below. Level 2 is project leads. Project leads are in charge of some project affairs, including fundraising, publicity, and coordinating with organizations. This will be approved by level 3 and level 2.5 members, who are the club board and publicity officer. And they will not be deciding the projects, they will simply be in charge of the projects. Level 2.5 is publicity officer. So these people, it'll only be one person, will be in charge of like the publicity of the club, for example, social media presence, website, communicating with people. That's what the publicity officer does, along with the secretary. However, this person cannot run for executive. And level 1 and level 2 cannot run for president either. Only level 3 members can run for president after the initial election. So the vice president is in charge of promoting level 1 members to level 2, and also in charge of enrolling new members. Fill-in, the vice president is also a fill-in for any absent level 3 members in case, say, secretary or treasurer is absent, and yeah, that's what the vice president would do. The secretary is in charge of documentation, keeping most records, like most secretaries are, and is also partakes in the publicity officer's duties, meaning that the secretary would be in charge of publicity, and the secretary is also the only one who selects the publicity officer. The treasurer is in charge of, finances, right? They would maintain the financial records. They would be the executive authority on sponsorship, fundraisers, and, stuff like that, along with the president in charge of, and they're also in charge of finding possible sponsors when a project lead needs funding. More general level 3 or club board things are club board members are in charge of creating project ideas, which will be approved by the executive. Club board members will also be selected from only a pool of level 2 members after the initial election, and this promotion will occur during semester elections. And club board members are the only group eligible to run for president after the initial election. I'll be going more into the initial election later. This is the president. The pool of candidates after the initial election will be restricted to club board members only, and the entire club may vote in these presidential elections. They will be contested every semester and can be re-elected, but their maximum term is 1 school year and the following summer break. However, the 2021 executive will have an extended term because we are starting this later in the year. This is also the executive authority on all school club related decisions, not the 501c organization decisions. They also are the ones in charge of reporting school club activities to the 501c organization officers, also known as advisors. And of course, they approve the project ideas. And then these are the advisors. These are the parents of the club. Students cannot fill this position, and they're in charge of the 501c organization. Benefits of this new system is that students now have a clear method of gaining leadership positions within the school club, and also preserve the 501c3 organization designation so that the organization still has its powers as a nonprofit, i.e. authority over volunteer hours. It also shifts the club's day-to-day decisions like, okay, where are we going to get this funding for this project to the students, creating student-led school clubs instead of the advisors having to manage every single small decision. So now they can focus on expanding the club to more schools or anything that advisors and adults would do. And this also encourages you guys to take a more active role. Say you don't get into a leadership position this year, you can be a project lead, and then you can then get into a bigger leadership position. Yeah, that's it. Thank you. Are there any questions?
I have a question about this entire club. So I actually wasn't able to join the first meeting you guys sent out, but I just want to know what exactly are these leadership positions and how exactly the club works.
So I believe I've explained every single leadership position in detail. I can send you the link to the presentation later, but yeah, if you are asking that question of like what the club is, I don't think I'm the right person to ask. I think the right person to ask is the current club board, who would consist of Ryan, Anthony, Summer, Chloe, Kevin, and Angelina.
Oh, okay, got it. Thanks.
Okay, so Summer can go more in detail about the actual structure of the club. I think she'll probably explain most of the ideas and how this club runs to you later. So right now, Aditya is proposing just how we should restructure the club, not exactly what the structure is right now. So Summer,
I can explain just a little bit on what the structure is right now. So currently it's just being run by the club board, which is me, Anthony, Brianne, Angelina, Chloe, and Kevin. And basically we're doing the planning of events, and then some people are assigned to be project leaders by the advisors. So it's not entirely organized right now. And then Aditya's plan gave us a more detailed direction of how we should assign these roles. And then currently the advisors are basically like the treasurer and secretary all together. So yeah.
Yeah, so currently our club is not as organized as it should be. And with my structure, not only will we be able to do more projects at once, we'll also be able to have a organized method of, if people want a leadership position, they have a clear directive of how to get it.
Okay. And also, I heard that there are some clubs that are that are still volunteering, especially during this COVID lockdown. And I just want to know if that was actually true.
Yes, we are still volunteering during the COVID lockdown. That's why this club has been able to operate during COVID.
Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna go in more depth about the different projects we want to do, like right now and in the future. So yeah.
Thank you,
Okay.
Summer. I think these kinds of questions should be for after the meeting because it doesn't necessarily have to do with the topic at hand.
Okay then.
so I agree with Aditya. This entirely new club restructure is a good thing, a good step in in the the direction we want to go. However, there is a few things I think we need to refine. For example, there's about the publicity officer. You said how the publicity officer will be able to manage the website. The issue with that I have is that I have been managing the website for all this time, and in fact, we have gotten hacked a few times from the website. So our goal is to reduce the amount of entries or people that have access to the website, so we can reduce the possibility of a hacking. And it's not really fun. We need to reset everything. So we just want to maintain that security. So I think there still are some parts like that need to be refined, but otherwise I think it's a good idea.
Yeah. Also, you said like it was a certain group, like a branch, not a branch, like a group or job that's in charge of creating project ideas that have to get
Yes, okay, so the club board currently is in charge of creating project ideas, correct?
Well, actually, we're not in charge of it. Anyone is free to propose ideas for any projects that our club will go
My
forward.
bad. But
Yes,
you guys
but-
have been creating the ideas anyway.
Yes, and currently how it works is the club board is the one who pretty much refines the ideas and also narrows it down to a few that we need that
Understood.
we think are.
But in my method, the club board will consist of 3 members and the president. So those 4 people who each specialize in different departments, for example, secretary in communication, record keeping, treasurer in finances, we'll have like a well-rounded method of creating club ideas, and then the president will say, okay, yes or no. Like how government works.
Hi.
Hey.
Hello everyone. This is Wei. I'm Kevin's mom. As far as I know, because our club is a 501c3c club, so there will be some legal issue for the board, like president.
I do believe
and,
I explained that in that so what I said was that the advisors and all of the parents and adults and people who are over 18 would keep control of the main central organization, right?
Yeah, so your structure is for the school charters for each sub club for each school, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, that would make sense. Yeah.
Yes. So the legal 501c3 organization, that's all you guys, right? That's all the adults. Instead, we will be in charge, the students will be in charge of the school club. And the school club will report to the main central organization, which allows you guys to keep your 501c3 designation. I don't think there's any legal issues. I've researched that and it didn't seem like it.
Yeah, if it's a school charter sub club, that will be fine.
Yes, it is a chapter.
Yeah.
That's the word.
Would you please share this slides that I can show
yes,
to the board?
I think I gave the link to Ryan already.
Okay.
So Aditya, I think overall the idea of a branch of a school club has always been on our mind. Our club has already discussed how we could explore into the schools and hopefully gain more membership through that way. So I think overall, this is a really good idea that help us take that next step forward. So I think we should enact that, and I'm pretty sure the decision will be made after the club board has discussed this.
Yeah, of course. I think this is just a work in progress. If you guys have any like special ideas that my idea needs like changing, I'm fine to sit with this on like for a week and we could discuss it next meeting. But I think, yeah, that should be time now.
Yeah, I agree. I think most of it is good. My one concern is when you separate the projects, many of our projects are still between like everyone from different schools, not limited to one. So I think we need a better way to make the two student boards to communicate and coordinate more projects. But other than that, I think it's a really good plan.
Thank you.
Does anyone else have any suggestions or questions about this plan? And I sent the link in chat, so if you want to reread it, then you can go look at that.
Just a really quick question. If we don't go to either Foothill or Dublin, would like opening a school club still be a choice?
Yes, as I said, there can be more than one branch, and if you choose to open a branch at your school, all the power to you. That would be great for the expansion of our club, and you can create your own student board there.
Yes, and one more thing, since some of the schools obviously have less people, for now, I think if there's only a few people going to a school, first of all, you can recruit more people and then form a club board. But also for now, you can also participate in events from the other two school boards.
So just to wrap things up, I think, again, what Rianne said, what Aditya said, and what Aditya proposed is all great. If there's any more conflict arising, then be sure to just contact us through the questions or frequently asked questions page on our Discord. Otherwise, I think we can just move on and on to the next topic.
Thank you, Anthony. So the next topic is future projects. So the current school, the current club board had a founders meeting last week, and we narrowed down some of the things that we wanted to do. So the three main things, and I believe we announced these on the Discord, are a project to a toy drive for hospitals, for children's hospitals, specifically St. Jude's. I believe Anthony did some research and found out that they are accepting donations of new toys during the week. and they do have wish lists of things they want to be donated during the holiday season. So that is one of the projects that we want to do. And second of all, Summer found a website that has in-person volunteering for many different websites, obviously with social distancing and staying safe. And then the third one is we wanted to start a sock drive for seniors. And then the fourth possibility is we can make holiday cards for either hospital patients or seniors or just people in general who aren't going to be able to see their family this year. So if the people who
We can
are
present.
planning, yeah. And keep in mind, a lot of these are in progress and a lot of them are just basic ideas for now.
Does any board member want to go with their project proposal first? Okay.
Chloe's going first. We're going off the order that Rianne did.
Okay, sorry. This is not the right screen. Huh. Why is it going to that screen? Can you see my screen now?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, so hello. This is a proposal for socks for seniors by me, Kevin, and Angelina, and we're all club founders.
Okay, so the overview of our project is that, so during the pandemic, celebrating holidays has been more difficult because of all the social distancing. So to combat this, we want to help seniors celebrate holidays because seniors are more at risk. So it's harder for them to like go outside and celebrate holidays. And we're going to help them by providing them with some non-skid thermal socks and just like donating to the senior homes and just helping them have a better time. And we're also, along with the socks, we're providing holiday cards. We're also accepting beanies, gloves, and other warm clothing. And we're partnering with Cheryl Dickinson, who is the social service coordinator at Ridgeview Commons Senior Homes. And we would like to start this project before Thanksgiving break ends and complete it before the holidays.
Our objectives for this project are listed here. We would like to raise at least $480, and that should be enough for us to be able to buy 40 pairs of socks to donate, and that will cover 1/6 of the residents living at Ridgeview Commons.
Okay, so some specifications for this project. Our target audience would be the residents of Ridgeview Commons. There are 240 citizens currently living at Ridgeview Commons, all ages between 62 and 100. And for this project, like we said before, we're collaborating with Miss Cheryl Dickinson. And as for the socks, we would we want to have wool socks or any type of warm socks that are preferably with non-skid bottoms to prevent falls in their homes. And the average price that we found for wool socks with non-skid bottoms was about $12. As for the holiday cards, we want to send holiday cards along with the socks, which adds to the holiday spirit, and also because they aren't able to have a holiday celebration at Ridgeview Commons this year due to the pandemic.
So like Kevin said, along with the socks, we want to also attach handmade holiday cards for the seniors. And we want these cards to be heartfelt and creative cards that are made by the club members. We want them to be like unique, and like we want them to be sincere, not just some like cookie cutter Christmas cards. And speaking of Christmas cards, they don't necessarily have to be for Christmas. They can be for just in holidays in general, because a lot of people don't celebrate Christmas. And all cards should be submitted by December 15th.
So we have a list here of proposed jobs for this project. We are proposing to have 3 project leaders, me, Angelina, and Kevin. And our responsibilities would be to manage the project timeline, send out updates regularly, communicate with the volunteers and our club members, and communicate with Cheryl and buy and deliver the articles of clothing to Cheryl in Ridgeview Commons. Another job is a treasurer. That would be one person, and that one person who it's still to be decided who it's going to be. Their responsibility would to be keep track of our funds on the spreadsheet, and they can also work with the adult board members who are in charge of treasury if they need assistance. They should send out updates regularly about how we are going with our funds. Another person should set up a GoFundMe so that we can collect money online. And one person should also design a flyer and send out the flyer to club members so that we can help distribute. Speaking of the flyer distribution, we would like at least 5 people to print out and pass out the flyers in our community, and also to post it on social media to promote it so that we can get more people from our community involved in this project. And about 4 people should also be involved in card making, and they would need to get the names of the seniors, buy materials for the cards, make the cards, and also, as Angie said earlier, send the cards to Angie by December 15th.
All right, so for the flyer, whoever's making the flyer should finish by November 29th, which is in 4 days. The earlier the better, so we can send it out as early as possible. Just like the flyer, we should finish the GoFundMe by November 29th, so we can send it out and promote it. And once the flyer is finished, we would like to pass out as many flyers as possible and be done with that by December 1st. We will close the fundraiser on December 10th, so we have enough time to buy socks. We're gonna purchase socks a day after the fundraiser closes. And just like we said before, the holiday cards need to be turned in to Angelina by December 15th. And because the latest that they will be accepting articles of clothing, such as socks, gloves, and beanies, is December 15th. We have to deliver them on December 15th and no later than that.
December 17th.
Oh yeah.
Not December 15th.
Yeah, my bad.
So that is our proposal for socks for seniors. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Does anyone have questions?
And when will like the people who promote on social media and the people who make flyers, like when will those be chosen?
Well, okay, first of all, our project, this is just a proposal. Our project needs to gain approval first. And second of all, we would probably have a sign-up sheet for the jobs so that people can choose like which jobs they would like to do.
As for project advertising, the more people, the better. Even if it's just on social media, you don't have to pass out flyers, but it helps.
Does that answer your question?
Yeah, thank you.
So just a side question. I think that you right now are limiting the amount of students who can do example one thing. So let's say the flyer. Last time we had a flyer for the school supplies project, I'm pretty sure we had more than one person working on it, and it was a group effort. So are we still limiting these jobs to 1 or 2 people, or are we gonna change that?
Well, our goal is to have 1 or 2 people to be able to do it because we need other members of our club to help with other aspects of this project. But if there's a need for it, if you cannot finish the deadline before, if you cannot finish designing it before the deadline, then we can always call in other club members to help.
The reason why I brought this up was because certain steps of any project should be taken before others. For example, distributing the flyer, that is a step after designing the flyer, and then another step before that will be actually setting up the GoFundMe. The GoFundMe, one person can set up easily. However, like the flyer, like for the mural design, we had multiple people working on it. On the flyer design, we had multiple people working on it. So I think we should like make sure we have a good flyer with multiple people working on it and then move on to the next step. I understand that you want to make sure there still are other club members, but I think we need to actually take some steps and devote our best to a certain step before moving on.
Yeah, we understand that there's steps before moving on. I'm not sure if you saw our timeline yet, but so our timeline, we plan to do the flyer first and the GoFundMe first. Then we're gonna pass out the flyers. But the holiday cards, they don't rely on the flyers or the GoFundMe. So you can start that as early as this project is approved.
And what? So Christmas is on December 25th, or that's the start of Christmas. So did Cheryl set the December 17th deadline, or did you guys?
That was December.
The December 17th is Cheryl's deadline. That's the latest that they will be collecting donations.
Okay, thank you.
Does anyone have any other questions for them?
So other than the specific roles you said about designing the flyers and everything, the general club's job is just to like promote the flyers and promote everything around their neighborhood or with their friends, right?
Well, these jobs right now, they're just like an estimate. If we figure out that we need more people for one job and less people for another job, we can always change it. This is flexible. And the more people helping with this, the better.
Okay, thank you.
So rather than collect money to buy the new socks or beanies, do you have the plan to collect the donation for the new socks and beanie and gloves directly? The reason I'm asking is if you have that plan, do you have any safety concern preparation for your plan?
Well, when we did the face shield project, we had like, strict rules for how you make the face shield. And we had to sanitize it very carefully. So if we plan to be accepting donations of the articles of clothing as well as money, then we will definitely take many steps to prevent any contamination.
Oh yeah, and I know that you guys emailed Cheryl about the sizes. Did she say anything in response to which size to get?
Well, for socks, there isn't actually like a size. There's like a standard size for adults and there's a standard size for kids. So unless you have really small feet or really big feet, then the standard size should fit you perfectly.
Okay, then I think that wraps up this project. Will you guys be creating a sign-up sheet for different jobs afterward?
Well, as I've said before, this is just a proposal. This project needs to be approved first before we can go on with anything else.
Considering this is a proposal, we need to get this approved ASAP because based on your design or your timeline, the flyer and things need to be done in 4 days. So we're gonna need to get this approved really fast.
Like knowing the way this club works, I am 120% sure that this will probably be approved. I don't see any reason why not this will be approved. So I think we should like first of all create this sign-up sheet for members and then move on. I think that applies to any other project as well, because even though it's a proposal, the club board doesn't meet until Friday, and by then you only have 2 days left to actually start and finish the flyers. So I think your timeline is a bit crunched on that matter.
Yeah, you guys can make the decision today. If there is no other concerns, you can just go ahead to approve this project. Yeah, I agree with Anthony that we should make decision as soon as possible.
Does anyone have any input to like the current project? Because we would like to hear what you guys think, because like we would just be making the decision on what we think. Okay,
Can I-
if no one actually has any input, then we can just approve it today.
Sounds good to me.
Okay, yeah.
And actually, I would like to invite everybody to, if you have in contact with some other nonprofit or anything else that you have, if you say you find an opportunity that maybe the club can participate and then do the good deed and whatever, and then you think, and then you can, it's always welcome to, get a proposal and then kind of like lay out the scope and saying, don't have to wait for the meeting for the whole club member to be on to discuss it. You can share it in Discord. I think lay out some detail and then ask people for their opinion, and then you can Q&A answer. And so when next time you have the meeting, everybody just kind of like just review it once more if they have any further question. If not, then approve it, and maybe that will help streamline that thing a whole lot easier. Utilize whatever channel that you have on communication instead of waiting on the meeting for all the club members.
Yeah, I agree. You guys can use the Discord whenever you want. Right now, our Discord, there's not a lot of action at all. You guys can have discussions, give ideas, suggestions, whatever in Discord.
Oh, and sorry, I forgot to add, we also have a Google Docs version of our project proposal. I can send the link in the chat right now.
Okay, thank you. I think we should just move on to the next item of action. So the next item is the holiday toy drive, and it's going to be run by Rianne and me, or any club members who want.
Wait, Anthony, we're skipping over something.
What?
We're skipping over the individual project.
Oh, completely my bad.
Sorry, I don't remember what order I sent them either, to be honest. You can go
Okay,
some.
right. Okay, so I'm gonna send a link in chat, and it's to the website that Rianne was talking about earlier. And then I'll screen share really quickly. Okay, cool. So once you open the website, it should look something like this, and then you can see that there's a whole bunch of nonprofit organizations, and each of these nonprofit organizations each are hosting a whole bunch of different events. And I know a lot of these are like before and on Thanksgiving, but there's a couple that are near Christmas that we can definitely look into. So we can look into this one, which is a wish drive. It's like a gift drive for Christmas. So if you press learn more, it gives you a lot more information on the specific organization. And then you can see all the other events that this organization is hosting. A lot of the organizations are doing similar ones in similar locations. So it'll be great if you can look through those to see which one matches your schedule. And then if you scroll down, you see that it tells you that you can press here to register to become a drive leader. And this is just for this specific project. But basically what we need you to do is that when you register, we need you to send us like a screenshot of every single part of registration. And then if they ask for like any personal information or what club you're running under, we also need that information. We need it because we want to give you guys volunteer hours for this. So when you sign up individually, okay, like the goal of this is for everyone to sign up for at least one. If you can't sign up for any, that's okay. But the goal is to sign up individually and then get it approved by us so we can give you the volunteer hours under our club, if that makes sense. And yeah, that's about it for the website. Does anyone have any questions?
I think that project is just a great idea to volunteer physically, and it can actually lead to us volunteering for Thanksgiving. It's a bit tight. Thanksgiving is tomorrow, but otherwise, I think it's a great option to physically volunteer, something we ourselves can't do well. So.
Oh yeah, and one more thing. When you're signing up, it's probably a good idea to keep COVID in mind. So like if you want to sign up with one of your friends, you definitely could, but please limit it to under like 2 friends, I'd say. because a lot of the activities involve food and you don't want to contaminate with food that someone else is going to potentially eat. Oh yeah, and on the Discord in the announcements, you should see a Google Slides presentation that I made that tells you how to navigate the website if you're still confused. And yeah, that's it.
Okay, thank you. Is that all for your website?
Yeah.
Okay, then I'm going to move on to the last project proposal, which is the holiday toy drive. And let me just share my screen real quick. So this is the holiday toy drive, and it's going to be from November 25th to December 25th, so exactly 1 month. So Christmas has always been a time of giving. Teachers and students all tend to give, and joy should be spread around this time. So through in-person cash donations or sponsorships, we plan to donate toys to different children or organizations across the Bay Area. So our proposed goal is to donate $1,500 worth or more of toys and gifts to children across California. So the second goal is that if COVID-19 restrictions allow, we should donate these gifts in person to different children and not through some different organizations. So it would help us become more widespread or help promote our own club this way. So some specifications for this project is that we will be distributing flyers, social media promotion, and other advertisements. So we can collect donations through the following channels. 1, GoFundMe is incredibly generic. 2, PayPal. 3, in-person cash donations, and 4, in-person toy donations. So these gifts should range from $10 to $25. All of these gifts should be wrapped and have a small Christmas card on them. Doesn't need to be a holiday card like the Sock Project plans to do. Rianne?
Yeah, so our projected timeline for this project, well, from today, we have 1 month until Christmas. By December 2nd, we want the groundwork of the project to be completed, like all the generic items like setting up a GoFundMe. On December 7th, we want to pass out flyers, set up the drop-off locations, and start advertising the project more. On December 16th, we will use the money donated to buy all the gifts that we plan. On December 18th to 21st, we will we will start wrapping up the project and wrapping the gifts that we bought with the donation money. And between December 23rd to 25th, probably not on Christmas Day, but we will be delivering and dropping off the presents. And some stuff that we still have to discuss is if we want to donate it to an organization that's doing this type of stuff, or do we donate specifically to the people? And in addition, if we're doing an organization, what sort of organization do we want to donate to? Examples are like St. Jude's, Salvation Army. And the action items, the things that we have to do, this is just the list of all of the things that we put on the timeline. So far, Anthony wants to do the GoFundMe, but anyone else can volunteer for any other jobs on the list. So yeah.
So I think we should just move on to the to be discussed section. So does anyone have any suggestions on who or what organization we should donate this to? And how so? So myself, I have personally researched into the St. Jude's. St. Jude's is accepting donations from anybody. However, it has to be new toys. And honestly, I don't think for Christmas we should give any old toys to anyone. And overall, any organization is fine. If we could reach out to multiple organizations. I posted a notification onto Discord about this, and I asked if anyone had any input onto which organizations we can donate to. So does anyone have any suggestions? Does anyone have any suggestions, or are we gonna stick to St. Jude's?
I think we can stick to St. Jude's.
Okay.
Hey Anthony. Another option is that before the pandemic, every school has that kind of Christmas gift drive or the gift card drive. So for the low income families, they will get the donations from the school wide. This year, I don't see this activity coming up. So if you want another option, you may want to contact each school to ask for if they still need this kind of help.
Yeah, I think that's one of our ideas. How we actually got that idea, I think that's pretty much where it came from. I mean, it's common to see a gift drive or a food drive and people are dropping off toys or food into a big barrel at the front of the school. And that's always been a thing. So I think we are trying to fill this gap using this project. So I think a few of our club members could reach out to these schools and ask them where they actually donate this to and if they need help to donate them. So otherwise, I think we could donate to multiple different organizations, St. Jude's, the schools, etc. So if that is all, and if anyone has no suggestions, then I think we can move on.
Okay, that's great. So I guess one last thing, if anyone has any final questions or anything to say about the projects, say it now. Otherwise, we can move on to the next thing. All right, I'm gonna assume that no one has anything else to add. So the last thing I put is just planning for what we're doing now. So I believe all 3 projects have items that need to be completed soon, within the next week or couple of weeks, as Christmas is coming up really soon and most of the projects are focusing around that. So I think our number 1 priority right now is to get all of the club members to sign up for positions that they want to do. So we need to make some sort of Google form type thing so people can sign up for certain jobs. Does anyone want to help make either like a Google form or Google Sheets and track who wants to work on which parts of the project? Or I guess each project leader would probably contribute to making.
I can work on that.
Okay.
Our project leads can work on making a Google form and a sheet to keep track of it.
I don't think we need a Google form. I mean, Aditya, feel free to help. And the toy drive proposal, I think that project is very open. It's going to be big. Hopefully it'll be bigger than any project we have done before. But I think if you want for the sock project, the sock project leaders could set up their own Google Sheet. And Aditya, I'm going to put it as an action item for you. Can you create a Google Sheet to track or to set up jobs for different members, especially the things I mentioned?
Yep, got it.
All right, thank you so much, Aditya. And in the previous, for the mural project and the school supplies, I believe we made a volunteer sheet where everyone recorded their hours. Are we changing that to everyone's personal volunteer hours instead of having one for everyone?
Yes, everyone should have received an email from our club volunteer advisor sending them their own personal service hours form. But I think that was only for the school supplies and the mural painting sheet. So they might edit yours to add another page.
So on the pages, there's currently a 3rd sheet that's blank that just says sheet 3. I think since we're adding a 3rd project, you can just duplicate the sheet and then put the project name and start recording your hours there. And also if any of you didn't get a volunteer, a service hours recording form from our email, please let us know ASAP so we can get that to you. And yeah, I think that's about it.
Yeah, just so everybody know that the individual tracking sheet for your volunteer hour is necessary, because when we apply the President Service Award, and then there's up to an audit from the body for the PVS S8. So they would need to know, if they happen to say, "Oh, I would like to see that how you track those volunteer hours to meet them," and then we need to provide them. So we actually have documentation that we do need to upkeep. So all the volunteer hour for every club member has to be reviewed and signed off, and then so for future audit purpose.
Oh, and if you volunteer outside and decide to ask us to like issue you the volunteer hours, we still need you to bring a volunteer hour form to the organization that you're volunteering at, because like we need proof and we need the organization to sign it as well.
Yes.
I think for what Summer proposed, I think that is something we shouldn't do. The reason why is because technically, if you go to your school, if you have a form that is signed by another organization, they will be approved themselves. For example, if you go to volunteer at the Second Harvest, one of the things that Summer mentioned on her website, you can get hours there. You don't need to go back to our club for that. And if you go back to our club, then I personally think you might be double dipping, because if you get hours from Second Harvest and you get hours from us, then you're essentially doubling your hours. So
no, it's not like that. You get it approved by us. Like we approve it so the hours are valid. And we're not giving double the amount that they already got. And you have to get it signed by like the organization itself, or else how are we supposed to know if you actually did the volunteer or not?
Because you need to get the form signed by the actual organization. So I think.
Well, yeah, that's what I just said.
So I think there may be a little.
Hey, Anthony. The reason, because we recognize that any nonprofit affiliation that we have, or some of those well-known organizations, because may not be all the club member, they're gonna apply for service hours award through those nonprofits. So for them, as long as they bring in the assigned volunteer hour form, and then we approve it, and then we can actually count it against their volunteer hours. Okay.
Okay, I just got a little confused. Thank you.
Yeah, before, in order to minimize the efforts that we have to verify the hours that you volunteered outside of our club, we encourage you to contact us for the verification before you do that volunteer hours, because for some of the unknown or not very well-known organizations, we might hard for us to verify. So yeah, keep that in mind. But for the volunteer jobs that Summer shared, that websites, all these organizations are well-known organizations. So as Summer suggested, you just need to provide the proof that you have volunteered for these organizations. We'll recognize that.
If that concludes the meeting, I think it concludes it. I have recorded this meeting, so I will send another recorded version on YouTube to the Discord. And if any of your friends who are in this club didn't attend, then feel free to send this recorded version on to them. So, because I think we had some pretty important things that we discussed today. Rianne?
Thank you, Anthony. I completely agree. So make sure to don't forget that we have a Discord and a Hangouts for communication, as well as social media. You can contact us if you have any questions, and we will try to get out the sign-up sheets to participate in all of our projects as soon as possible. Thank you all for attending, and if there's nothing else, then we can conclude today's meeting.
Thank you, Rianne. Thank you, everyone.
Summer, can you stay back and explain the club for Prathi? Otherwise, I'm going to leave the meeting.